Hi, Rob McDonald here, and this is the next in our series of the 7 most important things to survive anything. And today I want to talk about the Sacred Order. Now, the Sacred Order is not an ancient sect of Benedictine monks that have been living in the forest since time immemorial. It is your order of operations for when you're in a survival situation. So, when you're in a situation where your survival is at stake and you're wondering what to do, these are the 4 things you need to do. So this is why I call it sacred. It is absolutely necessary and it works every time. So keep this near and dear to your heart and in your brain anytime you're in a survival situation. So, as I said, there are 4 things you need to survive. Number 1, shelter. Number 2, fire. Number 3, water. And number 4, food. In that order. Now, shelter is at the top of the list because you're likely not going to survive longer than 24 hours without some sort of shelter. Whether it's like right now, when it's December and it's cold, you're not going to survive the night without a shelter. Or if you're in the desert or a hot day in the sun, you need some sort of shelter to protect yourself from that. And any other weather condition in between, you need shelter. Raining, snowing, bugs, what have you. So shelter is your number 1 most important thing in any survival situation. Number 2 is fire. And now fire can be interchanged with water depending on your conditions, but fire is generally number 2 because in many situations you're going to need fire in order to purify your water so that you can drink it. So fire is your number 2. Also, if you don't have an adequate shelter, you're going to need your fire to keep you warm through the night. So you can die in 24 hours through the night if you don't have a fire. Whereas with water, you can last 3 or 4 days. And then, as I said, water's next on the list at number 3. You need water. You need water generally within a couple days, but you can survive 3 or 4 days. But in that 3rd and 4th day, you're getting pretty out of it. And then last on the list of the 4 most essential things you need to survive anything is food. Now, food's last because you can survive 30 days without food. You're going to get hungry that first day, and especially the second day, and you're going to be like, oh, I need food, my energy's low. But you're going to be alive. Whereas you don't have those other things, you're not going to be alive after 3 days, 3 or 4 days. So that's why food's last on the list. Now, I'm not saying if you see food and you want to eat that you can't grab it, or see things that you need to get food that you can't grab them before you build your shelter. No, gather the stuff up while you're doing other things. But what I'm saying is don't go out of your way to get food before you have your shelter built or acquired or found or whatever means of getting shelter that you have. So once again, the Sacred Order, the 4 things that you need in any survival situation: shelter, fire, water, food. Remember those 4 things, remember that order in any survival situation, and you're likely to survive. And that's it for today. Hope you have a great Christmas. See you next week.